Speaker. My question without notice is directed to the Minister for Foreign Affairs. By way of background, as many of us are aware, we've had a range of foreign policies over the years. In the last 5 years, I have not seen a foreign policy paper presented on the floor, and I'm keen to understand if such a work is in progress or will be deliberated upon to be presented to the House. The reason for this background is given that we are receiving reports from a lot of our foreign missions on the state of their upkeep, neglect in some instances. And I note also that we are participating in many foreign engagements where public policy pronouncements are being made at those fora. I'd like to know if, as a government, we are working on a foreign policy that will better capture some of our thinking in terms of how we want to engage with the world, whether that be in trade or anything else. And therefore, if there is a foreign policy being developed, could the good minister inform the House as to when we would expect to see it presented on the floor? And also, more broadly, if the good minister could inform the House of what the proposed objectives of this foreign policy may look like. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Minister.
I thank the Governor for East Sepik Province, Honourable Allan Bird, for this very important question. The last review for the foreign policy or foreign affairs white paper that covers all policies of foreign affairs was in 2017. A review was done but never taken forward from there. Since I've taken over as Foreign Affairs Minister, one of the first priorities was to get the Foreign Affairs White Paper finally done once and for all, to give a guideline of where we're going into the future when it comes to foreign relationships, our regional security, also looking forward when it comes to trade and our economic partners. Of course, now we have split those ministries, but it still needs to be part of a foreign policy white paper so that we know where we stand into the future when it comes to diplomacy and our economic future. With that as well, the High Commissioners and ambassadors and honorary consuls also need to know where the government stands and the country stands in this regard. So about 2 months ago, we have already sent out letters of invitation to 8 senior foreign diplomats that formerly were working for under the Foreign Affairs Department. The likes of Sir Charles Lapani, the likes of Dame Tkatchenko, Winnie Kiap, many prominent Papua New Guineans that have been served in their time as senior diplomats of our country throughout the world. We've engaged 8 of our senior diplomats, brought them back to Foreign Affairs who have accepted, and with that, they will help guide us through the foreign policy white paper to ensure we get it right this time and we finish it off properly so that Papua New Guinea has a clear understanding of where we stand in the world when it comes to diplomacy and many other things. With that as well, we've also got assistance from the Australian government who will allocate from Canberra one of their senior foreign affairs policy directors to guide only and assist in coordinating the final outcomes of our paper. This white paper is a very important paper that clearly will show where we're going into the future with our diplomacy and with what we want to do when it comes to especially regional security and regional matters. As you know, thanks to the issue that we've had between China and Solomon Islands, the world has woken up, and we've had many different summits, especially the first one in Washington, D.C. with the US Pacific Island Leaders Country Summit, which was a huge success. First time ever the US has engaged one-on-one at the highest level with Papua New Guinea and the Pacific. Then there was the Pacific Islands Forum for Foreign Affairs Ministers in South Korea. And just recently we have had a successful outcome in APEC. And the next meeting, there's a summit for Pacific Island leaders in Indonesia in the next 2 weeks. And the list goes on. So the whole dynamics of the world has now changed and put a lot of emphasis now on the Pacific. So this white paper will be worked on around that and where we're going into the future. The deadline that I have set, because our public servants sometimes get complacent, is June the 1st, 2023. So we have this white paper ready to submit to Parliament to go through NEC in the proper process, to have everybody's comments, to have everybody understand where we're going as a partnership that everybody can have their say, understanding our foreign policy now and into the future. So yes, Governor, we have taken this on in the Foreign Affairs Department under your government as a first priority to make sure that this is finally done for the benefit of our country moving forward into the future. Thank you so much.